Yeah guys, you read the title right. Today we'll go back to the PlayStation 2 era and try out the first installment of Naruto Ultimate Ninja. You might be wondering, why am I now talking about the PlayStation 2 games while I am in the middle of playing the Storm series? I'll be honest, I got a little bit burned out by the gameplay style of those games after playing 3 games in a row. So I wanted to switch things up for a bit. This is not my first rodeo with this game. I did a full playthrough of this game on this channel a year ago, but I wanted to do a video about this game in a more retrospective style. Plus, those videos were the first videos I ever created and they are kinda bad, not gonna lie. So let's jump in and see how good this game actually is. At the start, we are offered with tons of modes. We got Scenario, Mission, Practice, Free Battle, Naruto's House, and the Shop. As well, we are introduced to our guide ninja who helps us traverse through the menus by explaining each mode. Each time you come to the menu screen, the ninjas change. I think that for the start, let's head into the Free Battle section like always and see how the battle mechanics work in this game. So, for starters, the character pool in this game is rather small. In total we got 14 characters where 60% of the character pool is locked and needs to be unlocked first in the other modes. We can play as Ninetales Naruto, Haku, Shikamaru, Kakashi, Lee, Zabuza, Curse Mark Sasuke, Gaara, Hinata, Sasuke, Naruto, Sakura, Neji, and Orochimaru. After you have selected your character, the characters jump out of the selection screen into a scroll and do a pose, which I think was an interesting thing to add in the game. After selecting a fighter, we can select a stage. This game features a lot of stages, which all represent locations of interest from the anime. Most of these stages from this game will be brought back for future Ultimate Ninja games. Before the fight, we see a manga panel style intro, where each character has a quick one-liner and the last panel shows them staring at each other before clashing. This is a 2D fighting game, contrary to Storm games where everything is happening in a 3D world. The controls in this game differ from the controls of the Storm games as well. In this game you move your character using the D-pads. Attacks happen the same way as in the Storm games. You mash the circle button and by using the corresponding D-pad buttons, different attacks will happen. Pressing the down D-pad button, your character will do a down attack, which can unblock your enemy and deal damage. Pressing the D-pad button up launches the enemy in the air, whereafter you get transported to the enemy to deal the last blow. Pressing the left D-pad button will throw your enemy, and using the right D-pad button you can just attack the enemy. You are also able to guard with R2 and L2, and timing the guard button can allow you to use the substitution jutsu. Sadly, at least for me, it was hard to pull off the jutsu. With the L1 and R1 you are able to select your items and show them with the square button. With the X button you are able to jump, and double tapping the X button will allow you to dash to your enemy. With the triangle button you are able to use your ultimate jutsus. Yes, ultimate jutsus in plural. In this game, each character has 3 chakra levels. To cycle through these chakra levels, you have to press the triangle button enough times. One press will unlock the first chakra level, pressing the triangle twice will unlock the second level, and so on. Each chakra level has its own ultimate jutsu. To execute the jutsu perfectly, you have to follow and input button commands in order to extend the jutsu. Ultimate jutsus can have multiple parts. The third level does the most damage, but at the cost that you have no chakra, and the first does the least damage. Some characters after performing a specific level of ultimate jutsu receive a small awakening, like Hinata, where she will deplete the enemy's chakra after each attack, and Kakashi, who will copy the enemy's moveset. Holding down the D-pad button will allow you to regenerate chakra, but sadly it is really slow in the game. As well, all characters are able to taunt by holding up the D-pad button. Some characters can receive some health by doing so. The battlefield is actually divided into 2 lanes, the foreground and the background lane. You can traverse through these lanes at any time by holding the up or down D-pad button depending on which lane you are, and pressing the X button. While battling, you are able to receive some ninja tools, chakra items or health items. You can receive the items by destroying the practice dummies that spawn in the area, interacting with the people on the stage, or from your buddies. Yes, each character has its own buddy that will drop by from time to time to give you some health items, ninja tools or support items, which can be used to summon the buddy to deal damage. Depending on the characters that are fighting, the buddies can change. For example, if Naruto is fighting Sasuke, Sasuke's buddy will be Kakashi, but if Sasuke is battling with Kakashi, then Sasuke's buddy will be Naruto. While fighting, you can see multiple characters on the battlefield. In Konoha village you can see Ichiraku Ramen's owner and his daughter, where by interacting with them you can get some items. You can see the builder dude from the Zabuza arc. In Hokage Face stage you can find Konohamaru, who is heading for Ebisu Sensei. Interacting with him 3 times will reveal him and you'll see how Ebisu Sensei is scolding him. Some maps have some gimmicks to them. When fighting in the Sand village, a hole will appear that will suck everything that it can. By falling into it you will lose health. In the Hokage's rooftop stage, sometimes a strong gust of wind will show up that will knock you out of the map. As well, did you know that each stage has another stage hidden inside of it? Once you have been knocked down, you're able to change the stage and receive some health for that. After the fight, we got a battle song, which is a battle report where by fulfilling some conditions we are able to earn some money that can be used in the shop.
And now it's time for fun fact of the day.
In this game, if you stand on the water, you will slowly lose some chakra. If you go in the water without chakra, you will fall right through. This is an interesting detail since in the anime, in order for you to stand on the water, you have to use chakra. Even the Storm games don't have such a level of detail where when standing on the water, you actually lose chakra. Well, that's about it regarding the battle mechanics, characters and stages. Let's head into the story mode of this game. This game's main story mode is made up of sagas. Each playable character has its own saga. In each of these sagas, you are playing through Naruto's story, but as if the playable character you are playing is the main protagonist. Example, playing as Orochimaru, you are destroying the Leaf Village and are successful in that. Playing as Neji, you see how Neji actually won against Naruto in the Chunin exams. Playing as Haku or Zabuza, you see how they both destroy Naruto, Kakashi, Sakura and Sasuke and are successful with their mission. This is an interesting concept because we can see what if moments if the story would have panned out a bit differently. The sagas usually start with a small visual novel like cutscene, which are fully voiced by the way. Each character has like 3 to 2 lines and a battle section starts. This cycle repeats itself until you have done all of the battles, and in the end you see an anime-like cutscene. In general, each saga has around 4 to 8 fights depending on the character you are playing. By playing through these sagas you unlock new stages and new characters, except for 2 characters which are unlocked in our next mode, the mission mode. The mission mode offers us to complete multiple rank missions. I wonder where I have heard this concept before. We have S, A, B, C, D, and training missions. These missions are basically free battles but with extra conditions, like finish the enemy in the air, throw only shurikens, stay on the water for 30 counts and so on. Most of them are easy and some of them are annoying, like a mission where you have to throw only shurikens and win the fight, which means you have to play for around 2 minutes in a single match. And if you fail you have to redo everything. The same issue I had with the substitution missions. For me it was hard to substitute, so I was failing those missions pretty often. After completing a mission you will receive some points. By getting a specific amount of points you get promoted to another rank. There are multiple ranks: Genin, Chunin, Special Jonin, Jonin, Anbu, and if I'm not mistaken, after completing all of the missions you become the Hokage. When reaching the Chunin rank you can unlock Course Mark Sasuke, and getting to Jonin rank you unlock the Nine-Tails Naruto. As well, after completing a mission you receive some extra money. All in all, that's about it in the mission section. Let's head to the training field. The training mode is pretty straightforward. You select your character and you are able to train with that character and learn his moveset. Yes, each character has its own moveset. Not sure if anyone actually used this mode, but hey, it's here if you need it. Okay, I mean that's about it. Let's head to the last 2 sections, Naruto's house and the shop. In Naruto's house we are able to change the settings of our audio, video and see the items we have bought. In this game you don't get to decide which items to buy. Oh no. In this game you spend money in order to spin the capsule machine and hope that you get something good. All of the items are random. The more money you spend, the higher the chance that you will get something. The less money you spend, the less chance of you getting something, except a blank capsule, after which Konohamaru will laugh at you. In Naruto's house, in the items section we are able to view scrolls, figures, listen to audio clips like music and voice lines, ninja info cards and watch ultimate jutsus, where all of these items can be unlocked by spinning the capsule machine in the shop. After the release of Naruto Ultimate Ninja, 1 year passed and in 2007 we got our hands on Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2. Is the game any good? Did it improve upon the core gameplay that Ultimate Ninja introduced? Let's find out by first hopping into the battle mechanics of this game. In this game we are able to play with around 32 playable characters, where as usual most of the characters have to be unlocked by playing the main story mode of this game, but there are 2 characters that can only be unlocked by doing some special steps, about which I'll tell you a bit later. So we got the whole main cast of Naruto, including a few Akatsuki members and some new and interesting characters. We have Byakugan Hinata, Taijutsu Naruto, who has Lee's and Guy's Taijutsu outfit and he fights like Lee, Anbu Kakashi, and 2 types of Orochimaru, one where Orochimaru has his hands healed and the one where he can't use his hands and attacks using his tongue.
What the f was that?
And it's time again for our fun fact of the day. As already one of my viewers commented in one of my previous videos, Ultimate Ninja 2 for the Japan release has one more extra character. The character is Doto Kazahana, the main villain of the movie Naruto, the movie Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow, which came out in 2004 when this game came out in Japan, of course. This character was added in order to promote the movie in Japan. After picking our character, we are again introduced with the buddy system, but only this time we are able to select which buddy will help us. The principle is pretty much the same as the last game, where they will come and drop some items for you to use. This time each character introduces themselves before fighting.
Shino versus
the third Hokage.
The manga panel style intros return, which is a nice touch for them to continue using it. Again, each character says a few lines and they all clash. Some characters like Itachi and Sasuke, for example, have specific lines before they fight.
I have no interest in you. I was born to destroy you!
The stages are pretty much all the same, just like the previous game, but they removed all of the small characters that were in the stage and with whom we could interact in the previous game. Now the battlefield looks clean and to me it felt a little bit empty, after I got used to having some life in the stages. The stages again have a two-lane system through which the players are able to traverse. The fighting in this game feels just like in the previous game, but now with some new added tweaks to it. They increased the chakra recovery speed. Now it doesn't feel as slow and sluggish as previously. Now they have added the ability to juggle your enemies in the air. Once you kick your enemy in the air, you are able to continue to deal damage. In the previous game, after hitting the enemy up, the enemy would just drop down like a sack of potatoes. Now in the air, we can either hit the enemy further in the air, continue to deal damage, try to hit the enemy to the ground, or try and grab the enemy in the air. As well, now you are able to extend the regular circle smashing combos by doing one of these things with the D-pad. While attacking the enemy and holding down the D-pad button, you will execute the move that will unblock the enemy. Holding the left D-pad button will hit the enemy and unblock the enemy on the last blow. Holding up the D-pad button, you are able to extend the combo by throwing the enemy in the air. Holding the right D-pad button will push the enemy in order to get some distance. Ultimate Jutsus make a return, where we again have 3 ultimate jutsus, one for each chakra level. Some characters like Anbu Kakashi or Shizune don't have an ultimate jutsu, but receive an awakening when trying to use an ultimate jutsu. For the ultimate jutsus, we now have 3 ways on how we can extend the jutsus. We can input the button commands just like in the previous game, mash a specific button, or we can spin our joystick around as much as we can. Each character in this game has its own awakening. Tsunade, for example, has an awakening that puts her in a young state that will give her tons of attack damage for a small period of time and make her fast at the cost of losing some chakra. But once the awakening goes off, she will be in an old state, making her moves ultra slow. This game introduces the ability for each character to use 2 jutsus. By pressing the up or down D-pad buttons twice and the circle button, the character can execute a jutsu that costs some chakra. The beloved ninja tools are back with some new ninja tools, like paper bombs, poison bombs, chakra seal tags that disable chakra for the opponent, kunais with paper bombs and explosive barrels. That on explosion will deal damage and throw the enemy back a few manga panels and change the stage. I love how they left the ability to change the stages mid-battle, but made it more fun and interesting. Another interesting detail is that some characters have their own starting ninja tools. Most of the ninjas have either shurikens or kunais, but Shino, for example, uses his bucks as throwing items, which is a nice detail that gives more context to the character. After each battle, we again are introduced to a battle song that shows us the conditions we have fulfilled and how much money we have earned by doing so. For the first time in the Ultimate Ninja series, we actually get a full canon story retelling. Get the saga storytelling away from me and give me this! As an ultra casual player, this is what I look for in these games. The story starts off at the final few matches of the Chunin exams. We see Naruto training with Jiraiya in the hot springs area of all of the places, before his match with Neji. After the training, we are given the control of Naruto. Yes, we are able to free roam. Well, kinda. We are able to walk around the Konoha village in a 2D-like world. This kinda reminds me of the free roaming of Storm 2. Each section of Konoha is actually represented in the battle stages. We are able to visit the center of Konoha village, in which we can fight. The same goes for the Hokage faces and, for example, the training field. After Naruto runs as if he had a stick up his butt through the village, he fights Neji in the finals and beats him. After that, we relive some of the other fights like Shikamaru vs Tamari and Sasuke vs Gaara. After the last fight, the Konoha village being attacked by Orochimaru and his goons, while Gaara and his brother brother and sister dip the scene, Naruto, Sasuke and Shino follow them. In the end, Orochimaru gets clapped by the third and loses the ability to use his hands, and Naruto beats up Gaara. After the invasion, Naruto and Jiraiya go looking for the next Hokage to Tanzoku Town, another area in which we can free roam. They both find Tsunade, but she is playing hard to get, because she was previously confronted by Orochimaru to help him. In the end, she sides with Naruto, where he and Jiraiya crack Orochimaru on Kabuto's cheeks before they dip again. And with that, the story mode ends. Yes, the story mode only follows the Leaf Destruction arc and the Tsunade rescue arc. What a letdown. Well, that's what the game wants you to think. In the free roam world, we are able to talk to all of the characters in the map, and all of them have voice lines. We are able to meet people like... And... if we talk to Hinata, Naruto gets reminded that he has a training due and forgot about it, so he rushes again with the stiffest run possible to the training field to train with Kakashi. After the training, we are able to use Kakashi and wander the town with him. We meet Guy and have a small chit chat with him. In the meantime, the cursed Orochimaru is planning to force Tsunade to heal him again, so he and his lapdog Kabuto infiltrate the village but get caught by Kakashi and Guy. They all fight, and after the fight, Orochimaru uses a forbidden jutsu which he created, the Ghetto Mark Seal, which makes Kakashi's Sharingan not working anymore. After that, Orochimaru and Kabuto retreat. Kakashi consults with Tsunade and she says that she has no clue what to do, but knows that the third Hokage made a jutsu that could reverse the effects of the curse mark, but he hid the scroll somewhere in Konoha. After that, Kakashi has another training session with Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke, and they all notice that Kakashi is acting a little bit strange, but are not sure why. After that, the team heads on to a new mission. In the meantime, Tsunade has a dream that she is consulting with the third Hokage, and he says,
That which you seek is protected by heroes.
After that, Tsunade continues to look for the scrolls around the Hokage faces, but sadly, no luck. After a while, Kakashi and team are back in the village, and they all ask Kakashi what is wrong and that he has been acting strange lately. He says that it's not their problem and he dips. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura all decide to investigate. So Naruto heads to the Hokage faces and talks with Tsunade, but... Orochimaru is back and again causing chaos. This time they use the Ghetto Seal Confusion on Naruto. Basically, Naruto is now controlled by Kabuto and he does as Kabuto says. After cursing Naruto, they both dip again to the lookout tower where Orochimaru, with the help of Kabuto, does the reanimation jutsu and revives 3 old characters. First of the reanimated people is Haku, who picked a fight with Sakura, but Sasuke, being the cool character that he is, jumps in to protect her. After the fight, Haku vanishes. In the meantime, Zabuza is fighting a weak Kakashi, where even Zabuza says,
What's wrong? Your moves aren't very sharp today.
Before the fight can continue, Jiraiya hops to help Kakashi and beats up Zabuza. Small side note, these extra story mode battles are insane. Each battle was harder than the last one. The enemies spammed the substitution jutsu like crazy and all of them were on steroids by having increased attack, defense and chakra. I spent like 10 minutes on this fight alone. After the fight, Zabuza disappears as well. In the meantime, Naruto is attacking everyone in the village and next in line is Sakura, but Tsunade is able to stop him by putting him to sleep. She says that he has to find the evil Naruto inside of him and fight him in order to break the curse. After that, Sakura interrogates Tsunade on what the hell is happening, and Tsunade tells that she is looking for a place which is guarded by the heroes, but she had no luck finding it. Sakura thinks a bit and says that the memorial stone could be the location they are after. Tsunade has a revelation and says that she will go and check for herself. In the meantime, Kabuto is looking for Tsunade, but is confronted by Neji, who gets clapped by Kabuto. Tsunade appears and Kabuto blackmails her into going to Orochimaru, because if she won't, Neji will lose his Byakugan. Kabuto takes her to Orochimaru and Orochimaru asks her to heal his arms. At first she almost complies, but Kakashi shows up and says that he will protect the village even without his Sharingan. This gives Tsunade the strength to say no to Orochimaru, but bad choice, because he sends the last reanimated person onto her, and the person is none other than the Lord Third. We cut back to Naruto, who is fighting his evil self and wins. After Naruto wakes up, Sakura tells Naruto everything that happened and they both go to the memorial stone, where they find the injured Neji. In the end, Naruto finds the scroll and goes to the lookout tower to find Tsunade. Naruto makes it in the nick of time and reads the scroll to Tsunade, who does the appropriate hand sense and does the Ghetto Mark release jutsu. Before that, Naruto almost gets killed by Kabuto, but Kakashi saves him. After the fight that Kakashi and Kabuto had, the third Hokage starts to vanish, while in the meantime Orochimaru is berating him for being useless and a worm. That pisses Naruto off and he turns into Ninetales and Naruto smacks Orochimaru around, where in the end they both again retreat. After that whole incident, everything is back to normal, and with this ends the game's story mode. After finishing or while being in the middle of the story, you are able to again complete missions, only this time you have to first go to the character in the real world and talk to them. They are fully voiced again as well. By the way, after each fight you earn money and skill points. This game has a small RPG mechanic to it, where by fighting with a specific character you are able to earn points for that character, which then you can spend to increase their stats like attack, defense, speed, chakra and etc. As well, through the world you are able to fight some of the other characters in order to learn new jutsus, which can be customized as well. You can fight the characters, but as well participate in some mini games. Headstand race, where you smash square and circle in order to run with your hands, but they are ninja dogs that will try to hinder you from finishing the race. Push-up contest. Basically you have to smash the circle button more than your opponent, winning 2 out of 3 will declare you the winner. And the pose minigame. Shikamaru or Guy will do some poses which are represented by input commands. You have to remember the input commands or repeat the poses. Each stage gets harder and harder. Do the poses correctly 5 times and you win the minigame. To unlock Byakugan Hinata, you have to first learn 2 of Rock Lee's jutsus by first talking to him and then winning him in a fight and in a push-up contest. After that, outside of the tuning exam arena, you will see Hinata's father, that will ask you to convince Hinata to fight Neji. After you do so, you can find them both in the arena, where after you win as Hinata, you will unlock Byakugan Hinata. For Taijutsu Naruto, it's a bit simpler. First talk to Guy outside of Ichiraku Ramen and then head to Tanzuko Town to buy the Taijutsu costume. Be prepared to spend a good amount of money. After that, you bring the costume to Guy and he says to go and find him in different spot. The spot is outside of Tanzuko Town, where here you will do a mini game and fight him. After that, you will unlock Naruto in a Taijutsu costume for the free battle. In this game, we actually have a store where we can select and buy items we want and not spin the ridiculous capsule machine of the previous game. In the market, we are able to buy figures, videos of ultimate jutsus, voice lines, stage music, buy packs of ninja info cards and buy a new guide ninja. In the Naruto's house, as you already can expect, you can view all of the aforementioned items. The figures in this game sadly don't have any animations, they are just still figures. Music and voice lines are similar to the previous game, and ninja info cards are basically the images from the anime, and some info cards depict the key moments from the anime. In this section we are also able to input passwords or cheat codes. There are quite a few cheats that can either give you money or unlock new info cards. Ha! I am the best Ultimate Ninja game. There is no one better than me. Huh? What's that? No, I am the best game. Wanna know why? Come take a look and see what I got. But first, 91% of my viewers are not subscribed, so what are you waiting for? Do it now! So, the battle mechanics in this game haven't changed drastically. For me, it felt as if the fights have been made faster and more fluid than the previous title. Now when a character uses a jutsu, the jutsu's name and the jutsu inputs are shown on the screen for a few seconds. Regarding ultimate jutsus, each character no longer does a sequence of ultimate jutsus. Each character has only one ultimate jutsu. Almost all characters actually have multiple jutsus, but these can be chosen before choosing the character. The more powerful the ultimate jutsu, the more chakra is needed to execute it. When you don't have enough chakra and try to use an ultimate jutsu, the chakra bar will light up a bit. This shows the player how much chakra the player needs in order to execute an ultimate jutsu. Talking about executing the jutsus, now we are able to only input button commands, no more spinning the analog stick or smashing a specific button. The ultimate jutsus are now short and streamlined, just like they kinda are in the Storm series. And the interesting UI thing that I noticed is that whenever you are fighting, you are able to see from which village the character is from. Another interesting thing that has been added is the fact that now when the enemy is hitting the ground, he will bounce like a ball. This was made so that it will be possible to extend the combos and juggle the enemy in the air. As well, when the enemy is launched further away, a small sequence will play out in order to give you the last hit. Only this time, instead of trying to time the substitution jutsu perfectly in order to dodge the attack, now all you have to do is spam the circle button. In this game, after each battle there is a battle report, which works the same way as it did in the previous game. Just like in the previous game, there are jutsus that can be channeled for a longer time in order to increase the range and damage. Only this time, if 2 jutsus that can be channeled are used at the same time, a jutsu clash minigame is presented, where spamming this specific button will make the person's jutsu stronger, where in the end the person who has spammed the button more will deal damage to the enemy. I remember finding this feature out when I was around 10 years old by accident, and I was so shocked and stunned that I thought that this is the single best feature in the game. The stages are pretty much the same, only exception is the few new stages have been added and some changes like Konoha Village Center for example have been modified a bit. After doing a taunt, now more characters are able to receive some buffs like Naruto, where he has an increased damage for a short while. As well, there are few characters that after doing an ultimate jutsu they are awakened and become a whole different character with different movesets and jutsus. Some of these characters are Lee when he gets drunk and Naruto when he goes into the Nine Tails mode. Talking about characters, we are able to choose from a pool of 42 characters, where of course at the start the majority of them are locked behind other modes of this game. The cast is pretty much the same as the previous game. We have all the main cast of Naruto Only's outfit comes back, all of the past Hokages, and all of the Sound Ninjas are playable as well. There are also some interesting characters like Konohamaru and Hanabi, which can be unlocked when doing some special steps, about which I'll tell you a bit later. As well, when pressing the select button on some characters, it is possible to use the alternative or awakened modes of these characters like Lee, Naruto, Sasuke and the Sound Ninjas. So, regarding the other game modes, we have History Mode and Ultimate Contest. The History Mode acts as a retelling of all the canon arcs of Naruto. This mode is split into 4 arcs. Genin Training Arc, in which we follow the story until the Zabuza's arc. Leaf Destruction Arc, as the name already implies, this arc focuses on the tuning exams and Orochimaru trying to destroy the village. This arc was retold in the previous title as well, but a bit differently. Tsunade Search Arc, we cover the events when Naruto and Jiraiya trying to convince Tsunade of being the Hokage. This was as well shown in the previous game. Sasuke's Retrieval Arc. This is the first time this arc is being represented. Actually, this game represents this arc 10 times better than it was represented in the first Storm game. Basically, we go through all of the Sound Ninjas trying to steal Sasuke and finish this arc with Sasuke vs Naruto. In each arc there are around 4 to 5 chapters. In the last arc there are more chapters than any of the previous arcs, since this arc covers a lot of canon fights. Before selecting a chapter, you are able to see a small screenshot from the chapter with a quick note from Naruto. As well, when pressing the square button, you are able to learn more about the specific chapter, but from Naruto's perspective. The chapters follow a basic pattern. A small in-game cutscene, which is similar to a visual novel, is presented. The cutscenes are voiced. The cutscenes present more context of the chapter before fighting sequences started. After the fight, another in-game cutscene is played and the chapter ends. In each of these arcs, in some chapters they are CGI cutscenes, which is a first for the series. These cutscenes usually present the most iconic moments from the show, like Sasuke attacking Itachi, how Naruto got angry at Haku, and the final fight between Naruto and Sasuke. Here, just take a look at how awesome these are.
It's time we put an end to this battle. To all our battles!
As well, in some chapters there are boss battles like Naruto vs Gaara, where you have to fight Shukaku. The fights are nothing to brag about. All you do is jump in the air and try to hit him until he is dead, while in the meantime trying to dodge his attacks. There is another boss battle, but only with Tsunade and Mandra. By playing through this mode, you are able to unlock the majority of the missing characters. This mode is pretty short. It is possible to complete it in around an hour and a half. I remember when I got this game, and as soon as I got home, I started playing this mode first. I finished it so quickly that I was boasting to my parents that it took me 2 hours to beat the whole game. Of course, I didn't know that there are more modes at that time, but yeah. Talking about other modes, we have an Ultimate Contest mode in which we get yet another feel-like story. The story starts with Tsunade brainstorming with some of the Leaf Shinobis for ideas. Tsunade wants to create a special event in conjunction with the Sand Village in order to improve their relationship. None of the ninjas, including Shizune, have an idea, except for Tsunade. She has an idea of creating an event where Jonin and Genin fight for a huge prize. So, after the introduction, we see Naruto talking with Sakura, who explains that they need to meet with Kakashi at a training field. After that, we are given free reign with Naruto. The story mode is a semi-open world type of a mode with some RPG mechanics. In the free world, we are able to run around the village, talk to townspeople, enter different residences, different shops, and so on. The free roaming is pretty similar to the free roaming of the first Storm game. Actually, I think that the Storm game took this game's concept and made it with nicer graphics, but in this game there's more to do in the free world. You're able to talk with some of the ninjas and help them with some of their tasks, like Shizune, which, when talking to her, will give Naruto a quiz regarding poison. If Naruto answers the questions correctly, he is able to learn learn a new jutsu, which can be edited in the edit sections. This mod has an RPG mechanic where by fighting you're able to level up your character, which will increase its stats like attack, chakra, defense and so on. As well, you're able to customize not only Naruto but other characters as well. You're able to change the jutsus of each character and as well ultimate jutsus if you have learned it and have the necessary items in order to use the jutsu. But okay, we are off track a bit now. So Naruto meets with Kakashi and he explains the rules of the tournament. The premise is simple. Each of the contestants have to gather these blue and red crystals. Genins are given the blue crystals and the red ones are given to Jonins. Blue crystal is worth 1 point while the red crystals are worth 5 points. The one with the biggest amount of points advances to the next round. In the next scene, Tsunade explains the first stage of this contest. In order to advance to the next stage, you have to collect 60 or more points. And the main prize of the winning the tournament is that a person is able to create a new rule in the village which everyone should follow. Of course, knowing Naruto, he wants to become Hokage, so he is determined to win. After Tsunade's speech, Naruto is challenged by Kiba, but Naruto has the dog in him and he beats Kiba up and takes his crystals. After the fight, Naruto heads to the training field where he sees Kankuro challenging Hinata for a fight. Naruto asks Hinata if she has seen Kakashi, but Kankuro interrupts him saying that he is about to fight. So Naruto takes up the challenge and takes Kankuro's crystals away. So soon after, Naruto finds Sasuke and Kakashi having a fight. Naruto gets mad at Sasuke and Kakashi scolds them both for being weak. Sasuke and Naruto team up to beat Kakashi, where at the end Kakashi steals Naruto's crystals and Naruto is again where he started, empty-handed. After that we are again given free roam with Naruto. During the main story of this mode, on the map there will be these red dots that act as an event. By completing these events it is possible to earn crystals. The events can be like helping Hinata with her injured leg, giving Choji some chips, having 1v1 fight or doing some minigames. The Konoha village is not the only place to look for opponents. We are able to travel to different parts of the village like the training field, the memorial stone, the hidden leaf forest, the hot springs and Tanzoku market. The main part of this section is to challenge whoever you can to try to get to 60 crystals. When that is done, Naruto will challenge Neji to a battle, which of course he wins. In the village, Tsunade explains the final round rules. Now, instead of getting a fixed amount of points, you have to get as many crystals as possible in a given time frame. There is no time limit, so don't worry. After that, we again are in the free roaming mode and we again do the special events or challenge the other characters by just talking to them in order to get more crystals. Once Naruto has received a specific number of crystals, he will find Sasuke in the training field and challenge him. After winning the fight, Ino and Sakura come and cheer Sasuke on, which hinders them both from continuing fighting. Sasuke says that they will do this another time and dips. So does Ino and Sakura. Naruto is baffled and receives some crystals. In the village, Tsunade announces that there are two contestants that have advanced. It's Kakashi and Naruto. They both will have a fight in the Chunin exam arena to decide who will win this tournament. In the next day, Naruto heads to the stadium to fight Kakashi. Naruto fights with all he's got, but after 2 fights with Kakashi, he faints. Kakashi acknowledges Naruto's hard work and gives up, which makes Naruto the winner. And for the prize, Naruto wants to become the Hokage. Tsunade explains that it is not possible, but being the Hokage for a week wouldn't be that bad. In the next scene we see Naruto working hard as a Hokage, dealing with paperwork and giving stamps. Naruto is exhausted and says that he wants to quit, but sadly it is not possible. He has to work the whole week as a Hokage. It seems being the Hokage isn't a good of a job, huh? In the end we see Tsunade and Shizunen relaxing in the hot springs, where Tsunade talks about allowing Naruto being the Hokage for a month, so that she can relax even more. And with that ends this mode's story. After the story, it is possible to freely roam around the village, talk to people and as well accept missions. When finishing this mode, you will unlock some new characters and jutsus as well. Sadly, this is not enough to unlock all of the characters. In order to unlock the Konohamaru squad, you have to go to the Ninja Academy and talk to Udon, who will give you 10 riddles about the anime. Answer them in a row and you will unlock all 3 of them for battle. They are fun to play with, but they attack really slowly, which makes sense since they are little children with no training. To unlock the first and second Hokage after doing the first riddles, go to Suzuki Estate where Ebisu-sensei will be waiting for you. If you answer his 10 riddles in a row, you unlock the Hokages, but be careful, some of the questions are tricky and hard. I remember when I first played this game I didn't understand English, so I tried to memorize the given answers and write down the correct ones. After that you are missing 2 more characters. In order to unlock them, you first have to go to the merchant and buy some items. These items are special items where, by giving the items to a person and then later talking to them, you will be able to have a friendship event with them. Do this 2 times and you will receive an item or a jutsu. To unlock Hanabi, you have to do just that. Give her perfume and then later the expensive perfume to experience both of the friendship events. And in the end, you will unlock her. As well, you will unlock the 4th Hokage, which can be unlocked when all of the other characters have been unlocked. Previously I mentioned that there are mini-games in this game, such as Sakura's tree climbing mini-game, in which you either run alone or against Sakura and race to the top of the tree, while trying to get speed boosts and these Naruto heads that will make you drop a boulder on your enemy in order to screw with their momentum. The same mini-game is also in the first Storm game, Nice Guys Exercise, where we have 3 different mini-games into one. The main idea is to win 2 out of 3 mini-games. The first one is push-ups. Spam the button more than your opponent in order to do more push-ups. The same mini-game was in the previous game as well. Jumping squats. Basically press the triangle next button at the correct time in order for it to count as a full jump squat. The one with more jump squats wins. The last one is poses, which is similar to the last games, but this time it is a written game. The one with more points wins. And the last one is 10-10 target practice dojo, where on the screen training dummies will pop up and by them a button will be present. Press the button first in order to receive points. The one with the most points wins, but be careful, some dummies dressed as leaf ninjas will appear that when hitting will make you lose points. As well, at the end there is a huge training dummy in an Akatsuki outfit which can give you a lot of points. The Tanzaku market makes a return with all of the same items like figures, ninja cards, music and videos, which all can be seen in Naruto's house. As well, we again are able to input passwords in order to unlock some goodies. The Naruto Ultimate Ninja series have come a long way by this point. We've been blessed with 3 Naruto titles which are better than the previous one. The next installment for the series would come in the West on May 1st, 2009, and it will be the first Naruto Shippuden game ever released. Funny thing is that when this game came out in the West, we already got Storm 1 on that time's next generation consoles. This game has a lot of fans and haters, so let's take a look and see what this game has to offer for us. There are 2 main game modes that this game offers us. One is the Master mode and the other one is the Heroes mode. The Master mode is the so-called story mode of this game. In this mode we can relive the start of Naruto Shippuden, but there is a catch. If previously in the last Ultimate Ninja games we first followed the story events and then had a filler storyline, then here is the other way around. The story mode starts off right in the middle of Jiraiya's and Naruto's training journey. The plot of this filler story mode could be something like this. Naruto is given these weight beads that will change in color whenever Naruto gets stronger. They both head to the nearest village and see that there is a strange ritual going on where a small girl named Aoi is being sent into the cave in order to sacrifice herself to a demon that is living in that cave in order to appease it. The main plot of the storyline is based on trying to save this little girl and put a stop to this demon. As soon as we start this mode, we are automatically thrown into the open world. This game takes the free roaming of Ultimate Ninja 3 and improves it with better controls, better camera movement, even though I had some trouble getting used to it, and as well with some vertical traveling, if you can call it that. Yes, in this part of the story mode you will do a lot of platforming. Well, in the cave you will have to traverse the big empty spaces of it, trying to platform one builder to another builder and destroy obstacles like boulders with your Rasengan. By the way, most of the gameplay footage was captured here live on YouTube, so feel free sometimes to join in. But anyhow, while playing through this part of the mode, you will be able to level up Naruto. By leveling him up, you unlock new jutsus like Shadow Clone Jump that will help you jump even higher. In order to level Naruto, you have to fight these enemies in the open world. Yeah, for the first time in Ultimate Ninja series, the combat is no longer only in a 2D playing field. During this part, you will have to beat these zombie-like ghouls that will try to attack Naruto. Defeating them will earn experience points. The combat is ultra simple and all you have to do is press the attack button with some occasional battle inputs to execute a move, which for me was a bit hard to sometimes do. Anyhow, after you have defeated the demon and helped the villagers with their problem, the mode ends and the credits roll. It takes around 2 to maybe 3 hours to complete this filler arc. This is actually a bait and switch, because after the credits we finally follow the events of Naruto Shippuden. All of the gameplay elements are the same, only exception is that the platforming has been toned down a lot. The story follows the events of start of Naruto returning to the village and ends in the middle of the Kazekage rescue arc. The reason for that was that this game came out in Japan first in April 5th, 2007, and at that time the Naruto Shippuden manga just started and they didn't have a lot of material to work with. So that's why the starting filler arc was added. In total it took me like 4 to 5 hours to finish this mode. This mode in itself looks beautiful, as you might have noticed the characters look different than in the previous game. The reason for that is that for the Shippuden titles, CC2 used a more anime style shading rather than the previous manga shading. This makes some scenes look more from the anime. The free roaming in the second part of this game mode is the same as it is in Storm 2 and 3, where we have a fixed camera angle and we are walking through the corridor-like village. In some parts, the areas are bigger and in some even smaller. In Shippuden's story, there are two moments where we are introduced to this like catch minigame. For example, instead of finding Kakashi for the bells, we have to chase him around the forest and catch him in order to get the bells. I think that this is a silly game mechanic and should be left out because all you have to do is just catch him. There is no fighting or anything. This moment appears later near at the end of the story as well. After or during the story, you are able to do some side missions like trying to get rid of these identity swapping bandits or help Jiraiya catch all of the escaped frogs around the world. Each side mission has a unique reward to it. As well, in this mode around the map there are these memory orbs that are needed for the Heroes mode. The Heroes mode principle is the same as the previous game's Hero mode, where the mode serves as a retelling of the OG Naruto story. The way how it is executed and how it is presented is different. In order to experience all of the story moments, you have to first unlock them by undoing these seals. In order to do so, you have to collect all of the missing memory orbs. If I'm not mistaken, there are about 33 to 34 orbs around the world. There are two ways how this mode is represented. One of them are these like still images with some text below them that vaguely explain the story. The second one is with an in-game cutscenes. These cutscenes are unique and most of them are just created for this game. Some elements like the CGI cutscenes are taken from the previous games, but the in-game ones are new. Just a small side note, if you really like this type of content, feel free to subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. But anyhow, the in-game ones show the most important moments of the story. These cutscenes contain a whole memory or are accompanied with a battle scene before or after it. These extended cutscenes explain the current moment more and give more weight to the story. One example could be Naruto vs Gaara fight, where we get a cutscene where Naruto confronts Gaara, then a fight sequence, and then the moment where Naruto explains why he is willing to sacrifice his life for the ones he loves, which is one of the emotional moments in the story. In any of the previous games, this scene was never explained in depth. There are a lot of different scenes, especially near the end in Sasuke's rescue arc. In my opinion, this mode is the best retelling of the OG Naruto story. Only thing that I disliked was that once you start playing this mode, you don't know how many orbs you need, and as soon as you see that you need more, you have to go back to the master mode and search for the missing orbs again. The battle mechanics are pretty much the same as they were in the previous game. The attacking and the flow of the battle feels pretty much the same. I guess why fix it if it ain't broke, huh? The only new thing that was added was that if both ninjas dash at each other, a small minigame of rock, paper, scissors is presented. By winning the mini battle, you are able to deal damage to the enemy. There is also the addition of awakening jutsu. When certain conditions are met, a character may trigger their awakening jutsu. These techniques are more powerful than the standard ultimate jutsu and, as the name implies, awakens a character's power. In total, we got around 52 playable characters. The character pool is a mix of OG Naruto characters and the new Shippuden characters. Some special characters like Hanabi, Konohamaru Squad and the Yellow Flash all come right from Ultimate Ninja 3. There are some unique characters like Sasori in his puppet form and Lady Chio, who doesn't use any puppets, since at that time in the story she hadn't used them. To unlock all of the characters, you have to finish the Master mode, Heroes mode, and as well defeat specific bandits that have transformed into specific characters like Hanabi, for example. So 7 months after Ultimate Ninja 4 was released, we were blessed with another Ultimate Ninja game, which was basically Ultimate Ninja 4 but on steroids. On November 27, 2009, the West finally got Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja 5, which marked the end of Naruto games on the PlayStation 2. All I can say is that this game is the best one yet. Don't believe me? Come, I'll show you. Let's start our journey with the main mode of this game, which is the Master mode. The Master mode is pretty much the same Master mode that we had in the previous game, but with some new additions and longer storyline. If in the previous game we went only halfway in the Kazekage rescue arc, this time we witnessed the reunion arc with Sasuke and Naruto. The Kazekage rescue arc is pretty much the same as it was in the last game, but the only thing that has changed this time is that we are introduced with different side activities that we need to complete in order to progress the story. Thankfully, they changed up the pace a bit. The in-game cutscenes are basically taken from the previous game in this section. The reunion arc follows the main plot with some additional side quests as well. Even the map layout is the same from the previous game, but with a new area addition. The presentation is as stunning as it was in the last game. We are again shown a lot of in-game cutscenes with some additional CGI cutscenes. In total, we have like maybe 3 cutscenes, but when they are shown, holy moly, there's something special, like this one.
Naruto-kun.
Jesus Christ. Some things have changed since the last game, like for example, in each area you go to, it will be infested with these bandits that have supposedly escaped. Running by them will aggro them and they will start to chase you around. If they catch you, you are then teleported into a 3D arena where you have to beat all of the bandits up. The idea is the same from the last game, but the feel and combos have changed this time. Now you have multiple combos depending on which button you press during the initial combo string. If you have defeated enough enemies, this bar will fill up that will allow you to go into awakening mode, which will give you a new moveset and slow the enemies down. At first, I despise this gameplay mechanic because when you play the story mode and have to go from one place to another, you will have to either try to dodge these bandits or you will be forced to fight them. But with time I kinda got the hang of avoiding them, so that wasn't a problem for me. This will later bite me in the ass as we progress into post-game content. In each area there are like 4 to 5 of them standing and waiting for you. As well, around the world there are traps like bear traps and these floating bombs that can either slow you down or damage you. Thankfully, to mitigate this time we are able to have up to 2 teammates that will help us along the way. These team members can help you out in these 3D world battles by providing support. A third team member can be selected, but this teammate doesn't help you in battle. This teammate helps you in the form of boosting your stats. Yes, this game has an interesting RPG mechanic where by fighting these bandits you are able to level up Naruto and his teammates. Each time you battle, you are able to get experience points which then can be used in order to upgrade your stats like chakra, strength, health and so on. If you have upgraded some specific attributes to a specific level, you're able to unlock or level up a character's special abilities. Yep, each character has a special ability that they can level up. For example, Naruto. If you boost chakra and strength high enough, you're able to upgrade his Rasengan that will help you destroy tougher obstacles in the 3D world. For example, Neji, while in the 3D world, can use his Byakugan to show on the map the location of mission important items or chests that hold items. The map and the world feels the same as the first game. I think one addition is that each city has now more people in them, which makes the village feel alive more. As well, this game doesn't focus on platforming as it did in the last game. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe, it will help me a lot. Anyhow, after we have finished the main story of this game, the post-story section begins. Comparing to the last game, this game has a lot of content. While or after doing the main story, we are able to do some side missions for some characters. Each side mission is interesting and are all voiced. By the way, this game doesn't have an English dub, all of the voice acting is in Japanese. There are a lot of side missions in this game, my favorite being the Jiraiya's quest, where everyone including Tsunade, Shizune, Kakashi and Sakura try to scold Jiraiya for doing his research in the hot springs. But there is one side mission that stands tall from every other mission, and that is the wooden clone side mission. Basically, Tsunade did an oopsie and released a lot of these wooden clones around the world. Your mission is to beat all of these clones and bring back the bingo ball. The thing is that these dolls take the likeness of the characters from the story. If you beat one of these dolls, you will unlock that specific character in free play mode. Get this, there are around 50 plus characters for you to fight. If you want to unlock all characters, you have to do this mission to the fullest. As well, the further you progress the main story, the more dolls will appear in the real world. Once you have collected all of the dolls, the last doll will appear on top of the Hokage mansion, which will be the 4th Hokage. There is also a hidden side quest that can only be unlocked once you have finished the main story and completed some specific side missions. After doing those, you will unlock an extra mission called the Chamber of Darkness, the Black Chapter, in which we play as Sasuke. In this mission, we have to go into this dungeon in order to retrieve a scroll from Orochimaru, which enholds a new jutsu that Sasuke will learn. I personally think that this is the Jutsu Kirin, but I don't know. Anyhow, there are 19 rooms which we need to traverse. Each room is filled with the sound ninjas and puzzles that we need to solve in order to proceed to the next room. The 3D fighting with Sasuke is awesome. He is so fast and strong that fighting these 3D battles was a breeze. Once we get to the last room, we fight this Orochimaru clone and get the scroll, and leave behind the kunai, which will come up a bit later. Once that is done, we move forward to the Chamber of Darkness, the White Chapter, which is basically the same thing, but we have to do everything again with Naruto, Sai and Sakura. In this stage I had some troubles because Naruto was so underleveled because of skipping 3D fights. I had to grind the same room multiple times in order to upgrade Naruto's stats just to get past the higher level obstacles. While doing so, I found a cheese strat where if you level Sakura's strength and chakra, you can abuse her jutsu. Once the 3D fighting starts, run into the middle of the enemies and press her jutsu. She will one-shot everyone and finish the 3D fight in 3 seconds. The goal here is to look for Sasuke. Of course, in the end we don't find him, but Naruto finds his kunai, after which the mission ends. In total, it took me around 15 hours to complete the main story, most of the side missions, the special chapters and getting all of the wooden clones. This is the most I have ever spent playing Ultimate Ninja games, and I loved 90% of my time. Talking about battles, don't worry, the beloved 2D fighting is prevalent in this game as well. This time the battle mechanics have been updated. The general fighting is the same as it was in the last game. A new addition is the new support gouge. Basically, if you have an assigned teammate, you're able to call this teammate for a support attack by pressing R1. You're able to do this 2 times in a row before fully depleting the gouge. Don't worry, the gouge refills itself pretty fast. As well, we can cycle through our items using only L1, and this time we can hold only up to 5 I think items at a time. Another thing is that the way how ultimate jutsus and taunts work in this game have changed. If in the older titles taunts gave you health or an attack boost, then here they can either be a regular taunt, be an actual attack, or help you go into awakening mode, from which you can do an ultimate jutsu. Yeah, ultimate jutsus are crazy in this game, and each character has like 3 to 4 ultimate jutsus. If you have a full bar of health, you can execute a regular ultimate jutsu. If you have a teammate that makes sense story-wise like Itachi and Kizame, they can perform a team ultimate jutsu. Yes, this is the first game ever that has a team ultimate jutsu. This feature was later introduced in Storm Revolution. If your character has 50% health, he is able to do a reversal ultimate jutsu, which is stronger than the regular one. Using this will allow your character to be in an awakening mode. If a character does a taunt and is awakened, sometimes that character is also able to do an awakening ultimate jutsu, which deals a ton of damage. I am not sure, but this whole ultimate jutsu concept was also in the previous game, but I somehow missed it. Thanks to the chat for letting me know about this feature while live streaming. If you want to join the live streams, feel free to do so. I usually stream Naruto games which I want to make a video about. As well, I usually live stream daily here on this channel, so keep your eye up into the community tab for any changes on the streaming schedule. But regarding the ultimate jutsus themselves, they are awesome. This is the peak of ultimate jutsus in the essence of style and visuals for the Ultimate Ninja games. My favorite one has to be Sasuke's regular ultimate jutsu. It just feels so badass. Okay, let me try this again. This is so cool. Not gonna lie. So cold. As well, if you select some characters like Sasuke and Naruto, instead of doing a team ultimate jutsu, you're able to execute a unique jutsu. This is as well shown once you try to select the characters. The interesting rock paper scissors minigame makes a return as well in this game. In this game, just like in Heroes 3, each character has a special ninja tools only for this character. Naruto has his Demon Wind Blade as a starting item. Some characters like Kakashi has his Makeout Paradise book that gives him health and small attack boost. Oh boy, the roster in this game is huge. We have around 60 plus playable characters, including the awakening statuses of some characters. We have all of the characters from OG Naruto, the Shippuden characters, Sound 4, the regular characters like Hanabi, Fort Hokage, Konomaru Squad, and so on. When in free battle mode, you're able to see which character has an ultimate jutsu or a taunt. As well, when picking a teammate, you can see which characters have an ultimate jutsu or a regular jutsu. Well, yeah, that's about it. We have played all of the Ultimate Ninja games for PlayStation 2, and it was a blast, I'll be honest. I really enjoyed like replaying all of the games that I have played, mostly the third one, and played the newer games like 4 and 5 that I have never played. As well, I wanted to thank you all for supporting me, subscribing, liking and sharing my videos. It means a lot to me. But yeah, thank you everyone so much. Have a nice day/evening. Bye guys.